friends, welcome back to Storytime. Today we're talking about bundling up because it's cold out there, so we're going to see what we need to wear in order to be warm. And now we're going to sing our hello song, which goes like this. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. Sing along with me, okay? Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. Hi, everybody. And our first song of the day is going to be Bumping Up and Down in My Little Blue Sled. So, for this one, we're going to move around a little bit, wake ourselves out, shake the wiggles out. So, move along with me, okay? This is called Bumping Up and Down in My Little Blue Sled. And you get to move around too, okay? Bumping up and down in my little blue sled, bumping up and down in my little blue sled, bumping up and down in my little blue sled. Won't you be my darling? Snow's coming down on my little blue sled. Snow's coming down in my little blue sled. Snow's coming down in my little blue sled. Won't you be my darling? Waving to my friends in my little blue sled. Waving to my friends in my little blue sled. Waving to my friends in my little blue sled. Won't you be my darling? Moving side to side in my little blue sled. Moving side to side in my little blue sled. Moving side to side in my little blue sled. Won't you be my darling? Turning round and round in my little blue sled. Turning round and round in my little blue sled. Turning round and round in my little blue sled. Won't you be my darling? Waving to my friends in my little blue sled. Waving to my friends in my little blue sled. Waving to my friends in my little blue sled. Won't you be my darling? That was bumping up and down in my little blue sled. And now we're going to read a book called Little Snowflake. Discover an amazing story from the natural world. This is our little snowflake. Let's see what they're doing. I was born inside a cloud one frosty winter day. As the wind blew over the mountains high and far away. The wind was blowing and blowing. Let's make like the wind and make air blow out of our mouths. Tiny drops of water froze all sparkly as can be. They turned into strands of ice, and the ice turned into me, the little snowflake. Suddenly, the wind whipped up and hurled me to and fro. I couldn't tell my up from down or which way I should go. Sorry, my little snowflake, Wind said with a sigh. I needed somewhere else tonight. It's time to say goodbye. And with that, Wind was off, waving back at me. I fluttered gently downward and landed on a tree. The sun was coming up and the sky was all aglow. From high up in our tree, we gazed at the world below. A squirrel scampered up the trunk to see the snowy view. His paws made all the branches shake, and down to the earth we flew. There's a squirrel shaking the tree, and the snowflake goes down. Now the sun was shining bright, the start of a new day. Very soon, the children all came running out to play. Someone scooped up and squeezed us tight and round. Whee! We hurtled through the air, then splat! We hit the ground. Then they started rolling us to make a big round ball. They lifted us up high to make a snowman standing tall. From high up on the snowman's head, I watched the little children play. They laughed and ran and danced and skated all the snowy day. Ooh. The afternoon grew warmer, the sun was shining bright, the snowman slipped and melted. He was quite a funny sight. Soon we were a puddle, sparkling in the sun. We turned to mist and floated up. Our time down here was done. I drifted back up to the clouds who gave a happy smile. So nice to have you back again. You've been gone quite a while. High above the world we flew, the wind began to blow. The cold air turned my mist to ice, and ice turned into snow. The end. That was Little Snowflake. And now we're going to sing a song about snowflakes. This is called Dance Like Snowflakes, and we're going to sing it with a scarf. So if you have one at home or anything like it, it can be a scarf that you wear, it can be a napkin, it can just be your hands too. We're going to dance like snowflakes. Dance like snowflakes, dance like snowflakes, in the air, in the air. Whirling, twirling snowflakes, whirling, twirling snowflakes, everywhere, everywhere. Dance like snowflakes, dance like snowflakes, in the air, in the air. Whirling, twirling snowflakes, whirling, twirling snowflakes, everywhere, everywhere. This is a song that you can do during playtime, during the mornings to wake you up, and you can use just about anything that is light and floats like this. And you can be a snowflake at home anytime you want. And now we're going to read another book called Froggy Gets Dressed. This one is about bundling up because it's cold outside, so we can't wear what we would normally wear, just a shirt and pants, because it's too cold. Let's see what Froggy wears to keep warm. Froggy gets dressed. It was cold. Froggy woke up and looked out the window. Snow, snow, he sang. I want to play in the snow. Go back to sleep, Froggy, said his mother. Don't you know, frogs are supposed to sleep all winter. Wake up when the snow melts. No, no, cried Froggy. I'm awake, I'm awake. I want to go out and play in the snow. So Froggy put on his socks, zoop, pulled on his boots, zup, put on his hat, zat, tied on his scarf, zwit, tugged on his mittens, zoom, and flopped outside into the snow, flop, flop, flop. Froggy, called his mother. What? Yelled Froggy. Did you forget to put something on? Froggy looked down. Oops, cried Froggy. I forgot to put on my pants. He flopped back inside, flop, 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 tugged on his mittens, untied his scarf, took off his hat, pulled off his boots. He left the socks on and slipped his pants on. Zip! Then he pulled on his boots. Zoop! Put on his hat. Zat! Tied on his scarf. Zwit! Tugged on his mittens. Zoom! And flopped back outside into the snow. Flop, flop, flop. Froggy, called his mother. What? Yelled Froggy. Did you forget to put something on? Froggy looked down. Oops, he cried. I forgot to put on my shirt. And your coat, added his mother. He flopped back inside. Flop, flop, flop. Tugged on his mittens, untied his scarf, took off his hat, he left his pants, boots, and socks on, and buttoned up his shirt. Zoot, zoot, zoot. Then he snapped on his coat. Snap. Put on his hat. Zet. Tied on his scarf. Zweet. Tugged on his mittens. Zoom. And flopped back outside into the snow. Flop, flop, flop. Froggy, called his mother. What? Yelled Froggy. Did you forget to put something on? Froggy looked down. He had on his mittens. He had on his scarf. He had on his coat. He had on his shirt. He had on his pants. He had on his boots. He had on his socks. He reached up. Yup, he had on his hat. What could he be missing? Your underwear, his mother laughed. Oops, cried Froggy, looking more red in the face than green. He flopped back inside, flop, 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 tugged off his mittens, untied his scarf, unsnapped his coat, unbuttoned his shirt, unzipped his pants, pulled off his boots, took off his hats, he left his hat on, and slipped his long johns on with a zap of elastic. Then he put on one sock, zoop, pulled on one boot, zoop, tugged on one mitten, zoom, started to tug on the other, and let it drop, and said, I'm too tired. So he went back to sleep. Good night, Froggy. The end. Froggy gets dressed. But now we're going to get Froggy dressed to go outside. This is Froggy's mom. This is Froggy, and he's in bed, but he sees the snow outside and he wants to go out and play. So we're going to get Froggy out of bed. Here we go, Froggy. And put him right here so he can get dressed. And he's wearing pajamas, but he's going to get dressed to go outside. So what do we put on first? Let's put on Froggy's pants. Here you go, Froggy, so your legs aren't cold. And then we need his shirt. Let's put on a yellow shirt, but it's still really cold, so we're also going to put on his red coat. Snap. There you go, Froggy. That way you're not cold. And we're also going to put on a scarf to make sure his neck is cozy. And of course, you can't forget his hat so that his ears stay warm. And his feet are going to be cold, so let's put on some socks. There you go, Froggy. One sock, two socks. That way both of his feet are warm. And he also needs shoes because the snow is very slippery. So let's put on our blue boots. There you go, Froggy. Some blue boots for you. Another blue boot. And the last thing we're going to put on is our mittens so that our hands can stay toasty. Let's put on orange mittens like this. 1 and 2. And now Froggy is all ready to go outside and play in the snow. He has everything he needs except his underwear that he forgets. So now he has to go back to bed. So let's put Froggy back to bed. Take off his mittens, take off his shoes and socks, and let's take off his scarf and his hat and his coat and shirt, his pants, and put on his pajamas so that he can go to bed because it's really too cold outside to go out and play. So let's put Froggy back to bed and then say good night, Froggy. There he is back in bed. Say good night, Froggy. Good night. And now, before we go, we're going to sing one last song called My Mittens. The mittens on my hands keep me warm, and then we're going to talk about other things that keep us warm. So sing along with me, and we're going to show our hands first. The mittens on my hands keep me warm, keep me warm, keep me warm. The mittens on my hands keep me warm all winter long. The socks on my feet keep me warm, keep me warm, keep me warm. The socks on my feet keep me warm all winter long. The beanie on my head keeps me warm, keeps me warm, keeps me warm. The beanie on my head keeps me warm all winter long. The scarf around my neck keeps me warm, keeps me warm, keeps me warm. The scarf around my neck keeps me warm all winter long. That was our last song about bundling up for the cold weather. I hope you have a very warm and fuzzy and cozy week, and I'll see you next week for another story time. Don't forget to come back so I can see you again for story time. And now we're going to sing Goodbye Friends. It's time to say goodbye. Sing along with me, okay? Goodbye friends, goodbye friends, goodbye friends. It's time to say goodbye. Bye bye friends. I'll see you next week for more story time.